Hello everyone, this is Muhammad Mazharul Haq. I am dealing the subject electrical measurements and instrumentation, and today's topic is energy meter. What is energy meter? We are measuring other devices, meter and voltmeter to measure the voltage and current. The similar way, the device that is used to measure the energy is called as the energy meter. So let's start about the energy meter. Energy meter is an instrument which measures the amount of electrical energy used by the consumers, and utilities install these instruments at every place like homes, industries, organizations to charge the electricity consumption by loads such as lights, fans and their other appliances. When energy savings during certain periods are desired, some meters may measure demand, the maximum use of power in some interval, time of the day. Metering allows electric rates to be changed during a day to record the usage during peak high cost periods and off peak lower cost periods also. In morning, we don't use many of them don't use the power supply. In the afternoon, there will be many of them will be using the high cost period or off peak period also we can say. In some areas, meters have released for demand response, load shedding during peak load periods. Most interesting type are used as prepaid electric meters. Types of energy meter are given below with explanation. This is one type of energy meter which is having a digital display. Basic unit of power is watts. 1000 watts is 1 kilowatt. If we use 1 kilowatt in 1 hour, it is considered as 1 unit of energy consumed. These meters measure the instantaneous voltage and currents and calculate its product and gives instantaneous power. This power is integrated over a period of which gives the energy utilized over that period. Types of energy meters. Energy meters are classified in three basic types according with various factors such as type of display, technical like single phase, LT three phases, HT and many more. Types of usage like domestic, commercial, industrial. Type of metering point also. Therefore, the types with respect to construction. According to construction, energy meter classified in three types, that is electromechanical induction type, electronic energy meter and smart energy meter. Generally, we see the electromechanical induction type of energy meters. Types with respect to phase. According to phase, energy meter classified into three types, that is given single phase energy meter and three phase energy meter. Electronic meters display the energy used on LCD or LED display, and some can also transmit a reading to the remote places. In addition to measuring energy use, electronic meters can also record other parameters of load and supply such as instantaneous and maximum rate of usage demands, voltages, power factor and reactive power used. They can also support time of day billing, for example, recording the amount of energy used during a peak and off peak hours. These are of accurate, high precision and reliable types of measuring instruments as compared to conventional mechanical meters. In digital electric meter, power is directly measured by a high-end processor. The power is integrated by logic circuits to get the energy and also for testing the calibration purpose. It is then converted to frequency or pulse rate. This is the digital electronic energy meter. Here digital signal processor or high performance microprocessor are used in digital electric meters similar to analog meters. Voltage and current transducers are connected to high resolution and A to D converter. Once it converts analog signal to digital samples, voltage and current samples are multiplied and integrated with digital circuits to measure the energy consumed. Construction of energy meter. Let us see the construction of the energy meter. Induction type energy meter construction. So we are having here AC supply, left side AC supply is given and terminals AC supply is given, and therefore record mechanism, to record the mechanism we are using here, to recording mechanism we are showing the way here, and we are having a this particular current coil wound, and here also current coil is wound, and here the braking magnet is kept, here the shunt magnet is kept, therefore here the pressure coil and the copper shading band is there, and in between those things we are having the coil. Pressure coil is from this side to this side. This is called as pressure coil. And also copper shading band is also there. So here the load will be placed. Here the load will be placed. The energy meter has four main parts: driving system, moving system, braking system and registering system. Detailed explanation of their parts is written below. Driving system. What is driving system? The electromagnet is the main component of the driving system. It is a temporary magnet which is exerted by the current flow through their coil. The core of the electromagnet is made up of silicon steel lamination. The driving system has two electromagnets. The upper one is called as shunt electromagnet and the lower one is called as the series electromagnet. The series electromagnet is exerted by the load current flow through the current coil. The coil of shunt electromagnet is directly connected with the supply and hence carry the current proportional to the shunt voltage. This coil is called as pressure coil. The center limb of the magnet has a copper band. These bands are adjustable. The main function of copper band is to align the flux produced by the shunt magnet in such a way that it is exactly perpendicular to the supplied voltage. The second system is called as a moving system. The moving system is the aluminum disc mounted on the shaft of the alloy, and this disc is placed in the air gap of two electromagnets. The electric current is induced in the disc because of the change of the magnetic field. This eddy current is cut by the magnetic flux, and the interaction of the flux and disc introduces the deflecting torque. When the devices consume power, the aluminum disc starts rotating, and after some number of rotations, the disc displays the unit used by the load. The number of rotations of disc is counted at particular interval of time. The disc measured the power consumption in kilowatt hours. One more system is the braking system. The permanent magnet is used for reducing the rotation of the aluminum disc. That means they are applying the brakes. The aluminum disc induces the eddy current because of their rotation. The eddy current cuts the magnetic flux of permanent magnet and hence produces the braking torque. This braking torque opposes the movement of the disc, thus reduces the speed. The permanent magnet is adjustable, due to which the braking torque is also adjusted by shifting the magnet to the other radial position. Registration or counting mechanism. The main function of the registration or counting mechanism is to record the number of rotations of the aluminum disc. Their rotation is directly proportional to the energy consumed by the loads in kilowatt hour. The rotation of disc is transmitted to the pointers of the different dial for recording the different readings. The reading in kilowatt hour is obtained by multiply the number of rotations of the disc with the meter constant. So, working of energy meter. The energy meter has aluminum disc whose rotation determines the power consumption of the load. The disc is placed in between the air gap and the series and shunt electromagnet. If you see the figure, you can understand this one. The shunt magnet has a pressure coil and the series magnet has a current coil. The pressure coil creates a magnetic field because of supply voltage, and current coil produced because of the current. The field induced by the voltage coil is lagging by 90 degrees on the magnetic field of the current coil, because of which eddy current induced in the disc. The interaction of the eddy current and the magnetic field causes some torque which exerts a force on the disc because the disc starts rotating. The force on the disc is proportional to the current and voltage of the coil. The permanent magnet controls their rotation. The permanent magnet opposes the movement of the disc and equalizes it on the power consumption. The cyclometer counts the rotation of the disc. Now we will write the theory of the energy meter. The pressure coil has a number of turns which makes it more inductive. The reluctance path of their magnetic circuit is very less because of the small length air gap. The current IP flows through the pressure coil because of the supply voltage and it lags by 90 degrees. So if you see the supply voltage here, it is bound and IP current is flowing, and here also one this type of thing is there, and two magnets are there. Phi s is the flux produced and it is connected to the load. This is IP here, primary current. We can say it is a primary current IP. The IP produces the 2 pi p flux, which is again divided into 5p1 and 5p2. The major portion of flux 5p1 passes through the side gap because of the low reluctance. The flux 5p2 goes through the disc and induces the driving torque which rotates the aluminum disc. The flux 5p is proportional to the applied voltage and is lagged by an angle of 90 degrees. The flux is altering and hence induces an eddy current IEP in the disc. The load current passes through the current coil, induces the flux Φs. This flux causes the eddy current IES on the disc. The eddy current IES interacts with the flux Φp and the eddy current IEP interacts with Φs to produce the another torque. These torques are opposite direction and net torque is difference between the two. The phasor diagram of energy meter is also shown in the figure. This is the phasor diagram having I, that is IEP, IES and EEP and ES. So every angle is 90 degrees apart from it, and also some angles are phi and p. So we can draw this phasor diagram if the sufficient quantities are given there and the lagging or leading concept is known to us. Now let V is equal to applied voltage, I is equal to load current, phi is equal to the phase angle of load current, and IP is equal to pressure angle of the load, and the phase angle between supply voltage and pressure coil flux is delta. F is equal to frequency and Z is equals to impedance of the eddy current, and alpha is equal to the phase angle of eddy current paths. EEP is equal to eddy current induced by the flux. IEP is equal to eddy current due to the flux. EEV is equal to eddy current due to flux. IES is equal to eddy current due to flux. The net driving torque of this is expressed as TD proportional to phi1 phi2 f by z into sin beta cos alpha is equals to k1 into phi1 phi2 f by z into sin beta cos alpha. So by this expression what we know is where k1 is constant and phi1 and phi2 are phase angle between the fluxes. For energy meter we take phi p and phi s, and beta is equal to phase angle between the fluxes phi p, and phi p is equal to delta minus phi. The driving torque TD is equals to K1 phi1 phi2 f by z into sin delta minus phi cos alpha. But phi p is proportional to V and phi p proportional to 1, and TD proportional to K2 VI f by z sin delta minus phi into cos alpha. So TD is equals to, here in this place we are writing K2 V1 f by z sin delta minus phi into cos alpha. So here we can write this and write the driving torque equation finally. If Fz and alpha are constant, Td is equals to K3 Vi sin delta minus phi. If n is the steady state speed, the braking torque Tb is equals to K4 into n. As at the steady state, the speed of the driving torque is equal to the braking torque. K4 into n is equals to K3 into Vi into delta minus phi. And n is equals to Kvi sin delta minus phi. If delta is equal to 90 degrees, here delta is equal to 90 degrees, speed n is equal to kv sin 90 minus phi, that is equals to kv I cos phi. Therefore, the speed of rotation is directly proportional to the power. The total number of revolution is nothing but integral of n dt. That is equals to k integral vi sin delta minus phi. If delta is equal to 90 degrees, the total number of revolutions are also different. And the three-phase energy meter is used for measuring the large power consumption here. If delta is equal to 90 degrees, the total number of revolutions can be given by k integral vi cos phi dt. And also we can write here when the power vi cos phi is nothing but power. Vi cos phi nothing but the power, and power dt nothing but p into t is nothing but the energy. So why we have to take here delta is equal to 90 degrees is we can write cos phi, cos 90 is equals to 1. So cos 90 is equals to, what is delta here? Delta is now here, the delta is mentioned, delta is equal to 90 degrees, 90 minus phi is cos phi. So sin, instead of sin delta minus phi, you are writing here cos phi. If this is taken care, then we can get easily the total number of revolutions, as well as we can get the energy that is being utilized by the household or factory, like that. So here only the single phase energy meter is discussed. Where we are discussing here is K into power is the first equation we have written. N is equal to kVi sin 90 minus phi, that is equal to kVi cos phi, that is equal to K into power, and the speed of rotation is directly proportional to the power. We can say that here N is the equation that is having direct relation with power, and therefore we can say that the speed is directly proportional to the power. Okay, by this we have seen about the TD, that is deflecting torque, K3 Vs and delta minus phi, and instead of steady speed of n, the braking torque becomes K4n, and at steady state the speed of driving torque is equal to braking torque, K4n into K3 Vi delta minus phi, n is equals to kVi sin delta minus phi. This equation is derived from the main equation TD is equals to K3 Vs and delta minus phi, and from there Fn is steady state and braking torque and all those things are learned from this particular topic. So we know that delta is equal to 90 degrees here, cos 90 kVi sin 90 minus phi, that is equal to kVi cos phi. So we can write K into power. The speed of rotation is directly proportional to the power also we can write here, because n is equals to K into power. So K is a constant here, and power dt is equals to K into energy. Why? Because the power is required to make some necessary arrangements, and energy is also there, so that by if we want to measure the energy, the three-phase energy meter is used for measuring the large power consumptions. If you want to use the large power energy consumption, then three-phase energy meters are used, and the working principle is also the same thing, where we are considering to the single phase energy meter. To discuss now some problems here regarding the solved problems of this particular energy meter. A 240 volts 5 ampere single phase energy meter has a constant of 100 revolutions per kilowatt hour. When tested by applying 240 volts, the meter took 99.8 seconds to complete the 40 revolutions. Find the percentage error. Is it running fast or slow also we should know. The total energy consumed is equals to VIT. V means voltage, I means current, and T is time. VIT cos phi into watt hour. So the energy TR energy is equals to 240 into 5 into 99.8 seconds divided by 3600 into 1.0. Now we are this 99.8 seconds is divided by 3600. So here TR energy is equal to 33.2667 watt hour. The indicated reading, total energy is different, indicated reading is different. Indicated energy is equals to revolutions made per KE in revolutions per kilowatt hour. So 40 by 1200 into 10 cube. It is 33.333 watt hour. Thus energy error is nothing but 33.2667 minus 33.333. Therefore the percentage error is minus 0.2%. That means it is more. Since the energy recorded is more, the energy meter is running fast under the given operating conditions. Now second problem is the meter constant of a 240 volts 30 amperes single phase energy meter is 1800 revolutions per kilowatt hour. When tested a half load rated voltage and 0.8 power factor, the meter is found to make 100 revolutions in 70 seconds. Determine the percentage error at half load. The energy consumed at half load is given by V into I by 2 into T into cos phi into watt hour. So total energy is given by 240 into 15 by into 70 by 3600 into 0.8, that is 56 watt hours. The indicated reading is this is IR energy is equal to revolutions made per KE in revolutions per kilowatt hour. So 100 by 1800 into 10 cube is nothing but 55.6 555 watt hour. Thus energy error is nothing but difference of both. The difference of both is 0.7936%. So it is observed that energy recorded is less and hence the energy meter is running slow under the given operating conditions. You see the other thing here, a single phase 50 amperes 230 volts energy meter on full load test makes 61 revolutions in 37 seconds. If normal disk speed is 520 revolutions per kilowatt hour, determine the percentage error as a percentage of true speed. Is the situation beneficial to the consumer? Reason out. So we will see now the total energy consumed is equals to V into IT into cos 5 watt hour. So 230 into 50 is the current and 37 by 3600 time into 1.0. Power factor is 1. So 10 power minus 3 kilowatt hour. So it is equal to 0.1182 kilowatt hour. Since the energy meter constant AE is 520 revolutions per kilowatt hour, the total KE nothing but the energy meter constant is 520 revolutions per kilowatt hour. The total revolutions should have been T total revolutions REV is equal to 0.1182 kilowatt hour into 520 revolutions per kilowatt hour. It is equal to 61.4611 revolutions. But the indicated speed is 61 revolutions and the error in the speed is the speed error is TR total reading of revolutions minus this IR REV is equal to 61.4611 minus 61. So therefore the percentage error is nothing but here 0.75%, that is the slow. So students, we have discussed about the energy meter here and also we have discussed some numerical problems helpful for us in solving the energy meter error as well as finding out the readings. In the same way we can study about the three-phase meter also. So I would like to end the topic here and I will come with a new topic in the next class. Thank you very much.